Welcome to Psychology of Daf. We are in Gemara Succah, Daf Mem Daled, and today we're going to talk about the unusual custom that we still practice today of beating the aravas, the willow, on Hoshana Rabbah. Now the Gemara describes it as a custom stemming from the time of the prophets, and we have to wonder what kind of custom and what's the purpose of a custom. The prophets had the power to make takanas. They can make decrees obligating observance. So why decide to make something into a custom? It seemed to occupy a place that's not a mitzvah, even rabbinically, and this is why no blessing is recited. However, the deeper question is, if it's worthwhile, why not legislate it? And if it's not worthwhile, why bother? The simple answer is that it must not be as imperative as a regular mitzvah. But this explanation does not sit so well. Why does this custom rate less than lighting Hanukkah lights? In fact, certainly history judges the custom of beating the arava branches on Hoshana Rabbah as significant. We still do it to this day. The simple answer is that other types of rabbinic ordinances were of one of two functions. Either one was to commemorate some kind of historical development, such as lighting of Hanukkah candles or reading the Megillah, or two, as a kind of preventive measure, such as the laws of Muktzah or Yichud. However, this is a new ritual that was not described by the Torah. Even though we have the rabbinic institutions of prayers and blessings, they're based on an overall biblical ethos and commandment to pray. However, this is a specific action ritual. Perhaps the prophets considered it to be impetuous, maybe even a violation of Baal Tosef, to add to the Torah, to institute it as a formal ordinance. There are deeper mystical explanations to supplement this as well. The Ishbitzer in Tiferes Yosef Hoshana Rabbah explains that the function of mitzvahs in general is to integrate the material world through action into the spiritual world. This is really the meaning of the phrase in the bracha, Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvosav, he who made us holy through his mitzvahs. However, the Ishbitzer says there are actions that are so spiritual and so non-rational that they go beyond even the conversion of physical matter into spiritual. They are simply mindless, not, God forbid, empty, just mindless acts of devotion. This is represented in the custom of the beating of the willow branch. The willow has no odor nor taste, it's devoid of everything. And by performing an almost mindless act with our body and our hearts, we hope to breathe life into the ultimate emptiness, even emptiness that cannot even be filled by regular commandments. I'll try to explain this a bit more. Tertullian exclaimed, "Credo quia absurdum," which means, I believe because it is absurd. What he meant, I think, is that God is so unknowable that the attempt to understand is ridiculous. The only thing to know is that everything is empty without God, and so the only thing that makes sense is to believe, even though you don't really understand. The world is impossible, but it exists, so we must accept the impossible as the only possible. I think the Ishbitzer is saying that through this custom, there's a total surrender of meaning and logic as a way to reach God through non-rational means.